We now know the names of the people involved in a deadly shooting at a Tri-Cities dental office. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office says 63-year-old Harry Weaver shot and killed his wife, 52-year-old Kelly Weaver. Deputies believe Weaver was in the process of divorcing her husband. Authorities say a patient carrying a concealed weapon shot Weaver and detained him until authorities arrived. Knoxville attorney Dennis Francis says that move could be considered justified under Tennessee's defense of a third-person law.
Was this person who intervened in that office, did he see the crime being committed? Did he have reasonable fear for himself to protect himself or other people in the vicinity?
Weaver is facing 1 count of first-degree murder and 3 counts of aggravated assault. The Sullivan County Sheriff says the patient who shot him is a hero.